Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. I just pulled every active, pending, and sold listing on the leeward side of Maui, over $4 million from McKenna all the way up to Kapalua. But I also included canceled, withdrawn, and expired listings, and that data changes everything. And I think you're going to be surprised at what I'm going to show you. Something strange is happening in Maui's luxury real estate market right now, and most buyers and sellers have no idea. We analyzed every active, pending, and sold listing in the Maui market at $4 million and above, 96 active listings, 27 closed sales, 46 canceled or expired. Here's what that data is actually telling us. Let's start with the number that sets the tone for everything else. At the current pace of sales, roughly 2 closed transactions per month, there are 48 months of supply sitting on this market right now. That's 4 years of inventory. For context, a balanced market is 6 months. A seller's market is under 3. What we have here is the most buyer-favorable luxury market Maui has seen in years. What that means for buyers: you have time, leverage, and options. Don't let urgency be manufactured. It isn't real. What that means for sellers: you are not competing with 1 or 2 listings. You are competing with 95 other properties, many of which have already cut their prices. Your pricing strategy has to account for that. Of every seller who attempted to transact in this data set, all the sold, canceled, and expired listings combined, 63% did not close. Nearly 2 out of every 3 listings either got pulled or expired without a sale. That failure rate is not bad luck, it's a pricing problem. The properties that failed were listed at nearly the same price distribution as the ones that sold. The difference was whether the seller was willing to meet the market. What that means for sellers: getting listed is not the same as getting sold. The sellers who closed understood where the market actually was. The ones who didn't close. What that means for buyers: patience is a strategy. If a listing disappears and comes back or expires and relists, you have significantly more leverage than day one. The median active list price in this market right now is $7.3 million. The median sold price over the past 13 months is $6.2 million. That's a $1.1 million gap between seller expectations and market reality. That gap is not a negotiation range, it's a worldview problem. Sellers are pricing based on what they want, not what buyers are paying. What that means for buyers: when you make an offer, the data supports coming in well below asking. The market is validating that approach repeatedly. What that means for sellers: if your list price is based on what your neighbor listed for, not what actually sold, you're building your strategy on sand. Sellers who sat on the market for 5 months or more, the slow movers, gave up an average of 22% from their original asking price before closing. That's not what they negotiated away in a single offer. That's what they gave up over months of reductions, relisting, and desperation. Compare that to the sellers who priced right from day one. Those properties sold in under 60 days at an average of 97% of list price. The math is brutal. A seller who lists at $7 million, holds out for 6 months, cuts twice, and closes at $5.5 million would have been better off listing at $6 million on day one and closing in 5 weeks. If you're a seller trying to figure out where your property actually sits right now, not where you want it to sit, but where buyers will actually move, click the Calendly link in the description. I'll pull a custom analysis for your specific property. It's a 15-minute call, and it could save you months of frustration. And this data doesn't lie. This is clearly a buyer's market, full stop. So if you're a seller that's been thinking about selling, hoping things will change, I think the data shows us the longer you wait, the worse it gets. And overpricing is a huge mistake right now. And looking what properties have actually sold for versus what's on the market is definitely the key. And if you're a buyer, hopefully this video has shown you have a little bit more leverage than maybe you thought you had before. Either way, I'd love to have a conversation with you on the telephone. Feel free to click the link in the description to my calendar. It takes just a few seconds. Let's book a strategy call and talk about the best way to position yourself to maximize the current market conditions. I look forward to meeting you soon. Much aloha.